I'm Dan Brown here at Bonnaroo 2012 with none other than Alice Cooper. Thank you so
much. I fit right in.
Thanks so much for taking the time to sit down with us.
Yeah.
Now, you're about to go on the road with Iron Maiden for a month. Can you talk a little bit about your history with them and what it's like?
Well, we're old friends with those guys, of course. And, you know, I mean, it's one of those things where we did a lot of shows last year together. And what we did was they said, we're going to go out on tour. Do you want to be our guest stars on this? And we said, sure, we'll go out the first month, and that's, to us, that's a good warm-up, you know, and we'll go, then we do our own show after that, which is twice as long. We're only doing an hour with Iron Maiden, so our regular show's twice that long. But it's fun to be in front of an audience that's not used to us. I always like to put Alice where he hasn't been or where he doesn't belong. Tonight's show, the Bonnaroo show, should be interesting. You know, because there's a lot of kids out there that have only heard the legend or the myth of Alice Cooper, and tonight they'll see the real thing.
Now, do you have any specific stories you can think of from being on the road with Iron Maiden? That might
I mean, you know, the Iron Maiden fans are voracious. I mean, they are Iron Maiden all the way. You know, we were in Europe with them, and everybody you walked past had an Iron Maiden t-shirt on, and then there'd be one kid with an Alice Cooper shirt on, and you'd be, yay, you know. So they have the most loyal audience of anybody out there, but they're a great audience. I mean, you know, when we went out and played, they recognized every song. They knew the whole Alice thing. It was very cool.
Both acts are known for having very elaborate stage shows. This time around, who out-elaborates the other?
Well, I think it's their show, so if they're going to out-elaborate us on this one. But there's two types of shows. There's a show that's based on the spectacle, which I think is Iron Maiden. And then there's a show that our show is much more vaudevillian in a way that everything revolves around this central villainous character. And everything happens to him, or he instigates what happens. And I think that's a different way of approach of it. We don't use pyro. We don't use lasers. We do spill things all over the place, but that's just part of the show.
So you don't use...
No, we use... everything that we use looks like it comes from Alice. If it's swords, if it's blood, if it's fog and everything. It seems that Alice is in control of all these things on stage. So the character I play, the Alice character, seems to be this mystical character that kind of controls the environment around him.
Now, you mentioned fake blood.
Yeah.
How many gallons
Some fake blood, a lot of it's real.
Well, how much fake blood and how much real blood would you say?
I tell guys when they get in the band, I say, look, I can guarantee you three things. You're going to get paid, you're going to see the world, you're going to get stitches. It's just part of the game. Here, you know, because I don't use rubber knives, I don't use rubber swords, and if you're in the way, you just every once in a while get a little stitches.
Well, thanks once again, Alice Cooper, for taking the time to sit down with us. For all of your Bonnaroo coverage needs, go to the Fuse YouTube channel.
In other words, use Fuse.